Rock. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the next fantastic issue of This is a video of Wyatt Doc Talk Rock. I am Kenny Wyatt West, and that guy...
Hi, everybody. I'm Rob Doc Farrell.
And you can call him Doc.
Just don't call me late for dinner.
Never gets tired. How are you doing this morning, Doctor?
Wyatt, I am rolling.
Hey, listen, so many of you may know this, many of you may not know this, but Doc has, before we get into today's topics, Doc has turned into a barbecue fanatic. Is this not true?
That's true. Very true. Yeah, I'm really super into it. With the lockdown and stuff, I needed something to kind of take my mind off things and needed a new challenge. And I've always enjoyed grilling ever since I can remember. But just last August, it's early November now, just last August, I got into charcoal grilling, it's been a huge learning experience, but I'm enjoying it. Learning something new every day.
Let me ask you a question. How did the char marks come out on that coyote you caught?
Nice.
Anyway, the reason I say that is I've gotten a couple questions about the song you hear playing right now, the song that I play every time because it's a great song. What is it? Who did it? And Doc, do you know this before we get on to today's events, current events?
I don't. That's part of the reason, one of the many reasons actually why I enjoy doing these podcasts is because I learned something from my best friend all the time.
Pretty much. The song is the version we use is a 1927 recording of a song called "Struttin' with Some Barbecue" by the amazing Louis Armstrong.
Nice.
Yes. And here's the thing about that. It sounds kind of silly, right? Walking down the street with a rib or something like that.
Unless you're a barbecue fanatic like myself.
That's right. Do you walk down with tongs? Do you sing the tong blues, squeak, goo? Anyway.
You just got to click those tongs a couple times in the air. Test clicks are imperative.
They're like the click-clack balls. Remember those? Oh, my God! Anyway, so the crazy thing is... Anyway, so the song "Strut with Some Barbecue," barbecue was slang for like a spicy, beautiful woman. And so
nice.
the song is like we're sort of proud and you're walking down the street and you got a beautiful woman on your arm. And when you listen to this song, that does kind of make sense, doesn't it?
That's cool.
Yeah. But having said that, I cannot wait to get over to your place to have some of your charcoal barbecue culinary delights because I see them on Facebook, and you guys can too. You just have to reach out on Facebook and look for Rob Farrell. And if you're nice to him, he'll friend you, and you can see all the wonderful things he's barbecuing. The guy actually did surf and turf, and he did banana nut bread.
I did.
Crazy.
And some cornbread too.
Cornbread, oh, so good, man.
Yeah, it turned out good.
I can't wait to get over there. So anyway, for those of you who are asking, it was just a few people, but that's the name of the song, "Struttin' with Some Barbecue" by Louis Armstrong, the amazing Louis Armstrong.
I would never have guessed that was Louis, nor would I have thought that was like a legit old song. I just thought you had found some kind of cool sounding background music.
Dude, it's go big or go home for Wyatt and Doc.
I know that.
You know what you did yesterday. One of these episodes will explain that as well. So today's small bite is called, Doc, and you might remember this. It's called Mirror Mirror. Today's small bite.
I know this one well.
Now, I'm going to set it up, and I'm going to let Doc tell the story simply because he is front and center, the protagonist in this particular story. Now, back in these days, and it wasn't that long ago, we used to play sometimes 2-3 nights in a row.
Back in olden times.
Well, there was that Noreaster of 07, because Pepperidge Farm remembers.
The Cortons fishermen from Cortons of Gloucester.
Anyway, we used to do a lot of back-to-back gigs, and we were playing everywhere at that time, primarily Huntington Beach, but really everywhere. In addition to the corporate work we do now, we were just playing just about every club we could play. It was a Friday night, Doc, and we had done Perks on a Friday night in downtown Huntington.
So we stopped playing at 1:30 a.m.
1:30 a.m. And just so you guys know, when a band stops playing, the band is nowhere near close to going home. We have to deal with a lot of stuff after that. We want to talk to everybody and thank everybody, personally, who came to see us. Then we got to tear the gear down. Then we got to get the gear out to the cars, and then we got to drive home. And at the time, Doc, I was still living in Laguna Hills.
You were.
So that was a very late night for us. I think we normally roll in about 2:45 or 3 in the morning.
And don't forget, we would usually make a pit stop for a double Western bacon cheeseburger.
Those were the days. You and I eat one of those now, dude, and literally, it's your stroke test kit. I mean, I would just go down. But yeah, we would wolf down those with some French fries and a soda.
French fried potatoes.
I might often go some onion rings, though.
Yeah.
They were good too.
Nice.
So we roll in exhausted. Now, for me, I didn't have to work Saturday morning or afternoon because I was doing the Monday to Friday. But Doc, who runs his own business, runs his own drum studio, had to get up and start teaching at the crack of dawn. And he taught most of the day. And then we carpooled down to our next gig in Huntington Beach at Harpoon Harrys. We get to Harpoon Harrys. We play for 3 hours nonstop. And honestly, I'm exhausted. I'm just completely out of gas. And I didn't have to work on Saturday. Now, Doc did. Now, before I hand this over to Doc, I want to say two things. Harpoon Harrys, by the way, was a great gig. We used to love playing there. The sound in that room was incredible.
Perfect.
The staff was great. The people were great. However, it was really dark when you walked into that place. I mean,
just picture a 1970s Columbo episode where Columbo goes to like a bar or a lounge to question someone. It's almost like the only thing missing was like the red leather seats, because it was like dark, a total 1970s vibe in there, but pitch dark. Yeah, super dark.
But they did have the red leather seats in the restaurant side.
Oh, they did. That's right, on the other side.
Yeah. One more thing. I can't say it. So we get there, we play this gig. It's pitch black, especially walking in. I mean, once you get in, it's softly lit, but just the entrance was...
Yeah, if your eyes are good.
Pitch black. Now, I don't know if many of you know this, Doc. I often call him Magoo. He does not have the best vision in the world. So let's put this all together. Stayed up late the night before, worked that morning. I'm talking about Doc. We screamed at the gig. We rocked for 3 hours straight. And if you guys have seen us, we leave it all on stage. We don't rip anybody off ever. So we're exhausted and bad eyesight. I'm going to hand it to Doc for the rest of the story.
So I forget, it was near the middle of the night. So we're talking probably like either the last break or the second to the last break.
Pushing midnight.
Yeah, I needed to use the restroom, and the place was pretty packed, so I kind of like a salmon swimming upstream. Go to the restroom, I use the restroom, and on my way back, it's like super crowded, and I'm just trying to find my way back to the stage. So I'm working my way, and all of a sudden, I come face to face with this person, and to let everyone know, I consider myself a fairly nice guy, so I thought, I'm going to let this guy go by. So I go like this, When I go like this other guy goes like that.
Hey, it's very uncomfortable, like you're staring at each other. Like,
yeah, it's like that thing when you're trying to get out of somebody's way and and it was exactly like that, except instead of us moving, we were gesturing. Yeah. So this guy's like, I don't know, maybe 3 feet away from me. And I keep going like this, so now I'm starting to get a little bit pissed off because I don't know if this guy's trolling me or what, but he literally is like copying me. So now I'm starting to get a little bit pissed. And Wyatt will let you know it takes a lot for me to get kind of pissed off, especially like at a gig with, I don't know if this person is like a fan or if they're a regular there or what. So I don't want to do anything that's going to hurt the band's reputation, but I can say definitively that my blood pressure was going up because I'm tired, I'm a little bit grumpy, and I just want to find my way back to the stage. So this probably went on for a good, 15 or 20, maybe 25 seconds before I finally realized it was a mirror. And I was gesturing to myself. I was trying to be polite to myself. And as soon as I realized, I literally laughed out loud and I thought, wow, I couldn't wait to get back up to the stage to tell Wyatt what happened. Cause I'm like, what an idiot.
No. Dude, it's so funny. And you had so much going against you because it was really where the part where you were walking was not pitch black, but it was dark. It wasn't well lit. That was the first thing. The second thing is, you're exhausted, man. I mean, we're all exhausted, but you're doubly exhausted. You taught all day before we even got into the car and drove down to Harpoon Harrys. And third, I don't want to say you have bad vision.
I do.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to do a Mr. Magoo. Drive the car. But, and I know, Doc doesn't wear glasses when he plays.
Just contacts, but
but they don't
with contacts. My eyes are bad.
Yeah. And so, dude, honestly, you didn't stand a chance. And I've loved that story for so long because everybody has to understand, everybody, if you don't know Doc, those of you who know Doc will know what I'm going to say, but if you don't know Doc, he is one of the sweetest guys. And even when we're playing live and people are being rude, he does a great job of always representing the band. He never loses his temper. He's kind to everyone, even jerks, even people who maybe don't deserve to be treated very nicely. Because the reputation of the band is really important to him and me. We've been playing together now for 18 years. So he's really great at that. So I could just see him all tired, sweaty, just wants to go to bed, needs sleep. Sure, fella, you go first. No, fella, you go first. No, fella, you go first. No, fella, you go first.
23 skidoo, small change, go first.
And then he realizes it's a mirror, and then he has to come back and admit it to me.
But first I have to play it off I don't know if there's people around me that are seeing me do this. I didn't know if people were standing there like I'm putting on some kind of a show. I'm standing in front of a mirror going,
dude, they're going, it's a human parakeet. So poor Doc. So that was our small bite today. Was poor Doc. But we did get through the night. I mean, we were really doubly exhausted by the end of the night. And Doc, I remember back then it was good that we were carpooling because we would get in, either you drive or I drive. We'd be so tired.
Yeah.
We have to roll down windows and keep each other engaged and talk and put on that 570, that scary program.
Stick our heads out the window like a dog.
Yeah. But I know that particular night we were just burnt, man. It was a long weekend. So
was it truth candles or
It was truth candles, and the color of the candle. This is a radio show we listened to. It was also the one who said that a guy they would call and say they were vampires. What was the host's name of that show, Doc?
Art Bell, maybe?
Art Levine?
I heard he fell into the mouth of a volcano. I want to say it's Art Bell. It's it's Art Bell. I can't believe I forgot the name of the program. Super famous program. And then Art Bell handed it over to another guy. But, they would talk about UFOs and lycanthropy and all kinds of stuff.
Well, Art Bell had to go and be with the Masters.
Nice.
Anyway, so yeah, it was good that we rode together, but that's a really funny story. You're a good sport for telling that, Doc, because...
Yeah, it's pretty embarrassing. Yeah. I was so embarrassed that I didn't want to look around to see, oh my God, who saw me. But I remember looking out of my what little peripheral vision I have, and hoping that no one saw me. Like, gosh, is that the drummer? What's he doing? Yeah, because it looked like a bird in a cage playing with a mirror.
I was gonna say, Hal Blaine and Paul Revere and the Raiders wrote a song for you. You ever hear it? Parakeet people.
Nice. Yeah. So I got Joe Morello's vision if I only had his chops.
Joe Morello, by the way, amazing drummer, everybody. Look him up.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So that is our small bite today. Was Mirror Mirror. Now that's going to take us to the big enchilada.
I can hardly wait. I have no idea where you're going with this. How you're going to segue?
Bad luck while performing. So, some of these stories I know you're going to know, dude, but I think a couple you might not know.
That wouldn't surprise me.
I'm going to start with the one you know. 2015. Let me take you back. The Wayback Machine. 2015. You ever heard of a band called the Foo Fighters?
Yes.
I love me some Dave Grohl, as do you.
He's an everyday dude.
He's a great dude, great musician.
Tell me he wouldn't be an awesome hang.
To be the best, just to chill out, and he wouldn't even talk music. He'd talk everything else. He wouldn't even go near music. So you know this story. So in 2015, they were in Sweden. Yeah, Sweden.
If you don't put that picture of us at Oktoberfest.
Hej och välkomna till första avsnittet av Easy Swedish.
So that has to go out. I might hold on to that just for like 30 seconds, just to really have to take a good look at it. So I know you know this story, but some of you might not know this. Some of you might have seen Dave Grohl and the Foo Fighters, and he's performing in a big chair made of guitars. You're like, boy, he's sure full of himself. But the truth is, Doc, you know why he was performing in that chair. Would you tell us why he was performing in that chair?
Yes, because he broke his leg. But rather than not playing, he didn't want to disappoint his fans. So he played in basically a glorified throne-like wheelchair.
Just it's amazing to me. I was reading more about this story today because, you know, as musicians, you hear about these things, you read about them, and you sort of get the overview, which is, oh, he was in Sweden, he fell off stage, broke his leg, had the chair. But if you dig down on this a little more, you ready for this, dude? I didn't know this. So they carted him off, and his leg was broke. I don't know if you've seen it, dude. It was like disgusting.
Yeah.
Stomach churning broke.
Well, when he's in the chair, isn't it like they have it on a rest where it's like out in front of him trying to set it or something?
Yeah, people were hanging their raincoats on it. But this band continued to play, and they played just cover songs. Are you ready for this, dude? He came back, leg and cast, and finished the show.
That's a Jack Youngblood move right there.
That is a Jack. I agree 1,000%. Like, he's so about giving value to the people who spend money. Like you just said, he had that chair made so he wouldn't disappoint anybody, so they didn't have to cancel any shows. Now, I'm going to tell you something, another band that does that, and this is just a quick aside. I might not be their biggest fan, but I appreciate their show, is Kiss.
Oh, yeah.
You know, dude, they endeavored in the early days to give every person their money's worth, whether you agree with them musically or not, or their attitudes or their arrogance. That's a totally different discussion. But what they did do was work hard to get everybody their money's worth. And
definitely. In fact, I'd give Kiss a oh yeah.
There was
I love that band. Well, I just think they're great.
I think they're great at what they do. And like I said, musically, you can debate their merits all day long, okay? But I think that in terms of bang for your buck, it's hard to get, guys who care more about giving that than they're...
Yeah, putting on a good show.
People, you know what? But God did give rock and roll to you.
That's right. He did.
Oh, yeah. So that was Dave Grohl. Now this is... and And there's a whole bunch of stories about guys falling off stage. I didn't want to do a bunch of falling off stage stories. Steven Tyler ate it in 2009 at Sturgis, and that was bad.
Yeah.
And he had to take time off. But if you look at him, he looks brittle anyway.
He does.
Looks like he's made out of
unlike Vince Neil, who's taken a couple tumbles, but he comes back.
But here's a good one, and I watched the video of this today, man. I remembered this story. So Prince in 1983 performed with Michael Jackson and James Brown.
Wow, that's pretty decent lineup.
Yeah, it was a poop show. It was really spontaneous, right? So of course Prince gets up there, and dude, you and I have often professed our love for Prince and his music.
One of my favorites.
Just off this planet talent. And,
yep.
And actually, for a guy who was seemed so secluded, he had a great sense of humor.
Super funny.
Yeah, super funny. But boy, just the music he gave us, you can't even chart it. So, comes on stage with Michael Jackson and James Brown, and somebody just hands him a guitar, and of course he starts just ripping, right? Just ripping to pieces, everything. Then he does the classic Prince thing, hands his guitar, takes off his shirt, right? And starts singing and dancing. He does the James Brown kick the mic back move as sort of James Brown, which is awesome. And he's just boogieing, dancing across stage, right? And he gets to the end, and there's, those old, like, light posts, like the old ones that look like they were about 3 feet around. The gray ones, and they go up to the big. So they have one of those props on stage, pretty heavy, right? So Prince goes up and he goes to dance on it, and it's not attached. He goes, "Yay!" and falls over with this thing. And thank God, for real, the crowd caught him and caught the light fixture and pushed him back up.
All 80 pounds of him.
Boy, that would have been a purple mess if they would have caught him. Purple mess, purple mess. Yeah, but that was actually kind of funny. But thank God they caught him.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that story.
Yeah. Now, here's one. You know the song Smoke on the Water?
Yes.
If you've never heard the opening to that, it goes like this. I'm kidding, of course. It goes... very famous song. And the first verse talks about going to Montreux and some stupid with a flare gun burned the place to the ground. That's a true story. Do you know where that came from?
I have no idea. This I'm anxious to hear.
There's another line in that song that said Frank Zappa and the Mothers. And in 1971 in Montreux, Switzerland, again, those crazy, yeah, it's us again. Switzerland taking over the world from you. Zappa's on stage, finishing up the concert there, and some idiot in the crowd with a flare gun, and it's a casino, right? Montreux Casino, points the flare gun in the air, shoots it at the ceiling. And the place wicked catches on fire, like completely on fire. It's like good news, bad news, according to this. Like the good news is, thank God, nobody was hurt.
Wow.
Scrambled out.
That's crazy.
I know, right? That nobody could die in that fire. Crazy fire and out of control. Of course, the bad news is it also took out all of Zappa's equipment, and this is $1971, $50,000.
Wow.
So, yeah, they actually, Deep Purple rolled that into the first line of that.
Interesting.
And that's what they're talking about, smoke on the water, fire in the sky, was that casino actually burning to the ground.
Oh, my God. I had no idea.
Yeah, so now you know.
Wow. I'd much rather have a mirror war than a smoke on the water issue like that at a gig.
You have a bigger chance of surviving a mirror war. Spock! Mirror, mirror, by the way, if you haven't seen that episode.
Oh, man. Spock's beard.
Spock's beard. All right, Doc, the last one I'm going to leave you with, and I have to read it because...
Is this going to be one I know?
I don't think so, because I didn't know this one. But I found it late last night, and I thought it was really interesting, and it makes a lot of sense, right? So
at 3:45 in the morning? 3:45 in the morning.
Getting ready for bed. Wait, what is it? Gee, 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 gee. Gee, 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 gee. Gee, 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 gee. Gee, gee, gee. 25 or 64. Yeah. Oh, it hurts when I cross my eyes. Again, a Vancouver. There's a little Frenchie over there, right? Little Vancouver. Not in France, speak French. Vancouver. 1975. Alice Cooper, we dig the coop. We've had discussions about the coop before. Thank you. Nice. We dig the coop. Do we not dig the coop, Doc?
Love him.
Greg seems like the nicest guy in rock and roll.
Like the type of guy that'd give you one of his golf clubs.
or the guitar off his back. Sure he would. If you buy this car. Another story. Anyway, Coop, great guy, great music, so much great music. And you want to talk about a performer and giving you your money's worth, he went above and beyond. You didn't just get music, you got pretty scary gothic show. So I'm going to read you this story, and I'm trying not to laugh, but I think you're going to laugh too when I read this to you. So Alice broke 6 ribs.
Oh my gosh.
And let me tell you, it's hard to put a cast on ribs.
Yeah, and that's so painful because it's hard to breathe if you sneeze or you cough. Yeah, terrible.
You've got to wait for that stuff to work itself out.
Wow.
So broke 6 ribs and suffered a concussion. 15 stitches to his head.
Jeez.
He was propelled off stage by a giant toy box.
Oh my gosh.
Could you make that sound you make when you're talking about 1 million years BC?
1 million, what sound?
When the guys, you always do that sound, the guys were running from the dinosaur, the Gia sound.
Oh.
That's the sound.
Wait, the Gia sound?
Yeah, could you do that one?
Gia.
Because I'm pretty certain when that toy box shot him out,
he pulled a Gia.
But here's the crazy, dude, get this. He went back on stage.
No way.
Advantages, yeah. He says, I put my hand on my head. Felt like a baseball.
Oh my gosh.
He must have had a huge knot. I'm sure he was bleeding from that. But dude,
was it a stunt that went wrong, or was he standing in the wrong place at the wrong time?
It was a stunt that went wrong.
Wow.
So really, if you see a giant toy box, I would not recommend waiting for it to propel you. I love that. I wonder
if that's on YouTube or anything.
Propelled off stage by a giant toy box. Propelled.
You can't make that kind of stuff up.
Propelled, not thrown, not tossed. Propelled. Words matter, people.
It does, for a wordsmith like yourself. Do people know that you're a wordsmith too?
I don't know if they do or not.
Well, let me just tell the people.
About a man named Jed?
Wyatt's a wordsmith, folks.
Oh, well. On occasion, I've been known to put a few words together. Time being, my record, you have it. A lot of words on that. Wow! Shameless self-plug, Doc. Did you get that?
If only you had maybe a Telly award or 2.
Oh, well. That's no big deal. Anyway, I believe that buttons up this episode.
Nice.
So, once again, the big enchilada was bad luck on stage. The small bite was mirror, mirror. Subtitle: Doc finally loses his temper at a gig, and it's focused at himself. I am Kenny Wyatt West, and this guy...
I am Rob Doc Farrell.
But...
Wake up, slut!
Don't call him late for dinner, did I?
Oh!
And we'll see you later.